So I've got my hip by his left shoulder. I'm going to just softly bring his nose down and in, just by laying my hand there, encouraging him to come in. Bring it up with my left hand. Good boy, he's taking it with his mouth already. Put my right arm between his ears, and then lift with that hand. Switch back, just in case you needed this hand to help get it in. So just lay my arm on top and push that far ear forward, loop it on. Then he always seems to want to go up because he's anticipating. So then I'm just going to give him a second. I'm going to ask him to bring his head back down just by laying my hand on there and encouraging him to be low and easy. Never mind the horse. Good. And then I'm going to push this far ear forward and in, and he will pop up again. So I'm going to ask him to bring his head down. And then he's got that Tennessee bump right on his pole there. So you got to make sure that you pop that back so it's not sitting on that. It's like an Irish setter head. And then just give him a good hair day. And when you want to work with him, because don't rush bridling, make that, if you're having a little bit of trouble, just slow it down. Always ask for his head to come down. He can eat grass. You don't have to fight with him up there. He's too tall. So if I ask him to drop his head, I'll just hold some pressure. Good. And I release it the second he drops. Head down. Head down. Good. And sometimes I'll do it with two. I'll help with this and I'll push here a little bit, and it's just light. And every time he gives to you, you give to him. Good boy. So you can't keep holding that pressure. Okay? And then we'll do a little bit of stop, go, turn on the haunch and turn on the forehand. So if I want him to turn to the left, which you want to avoid unless you're prepared, don't just turn, because then you're getting out of his way. So if I want to turn to the left, I'm going to encourage his hind end to leave. And that inside hind foot crosses under and in front of that other foot. Very good. So it's kind of a left turn, but it's actually sending the hip away so that they don't think that they're just coming on top of you with their front end. I don't want to bring him onto me like this because he could spook and jump on me, plus I'm getting out of his way instead of him getting out of my way. So you can, if you were just leading him, you can turn left by using this and encouraging his hind end. So look at his hind end and send it away. Asking it to cross under. Good boy. Or if you're not necessarily going anywhere to make a left turn like that, you can just work on it by, your goal is this stays, doesn't have to stay still, but it's basically that this stays reasonably still in one spot while that butt goes around that solid base. So I'm just going to ask him, not going to allow a lot of forward motion. That's better. Good boy. And what we do on one side, where'd you go? What we do on one side, we got to do on the other. So I'm going to come to this side and I'm going to ask him to stay reasonably still with the front end, and I'm going to encourage the back end to move away. Good boy. Let's get a little bit further away, dudes. You can see your feet. Good boy. So I knew that was coming because he was getting locked up there. So you gotta be safe. Okay, get out in the open here. If he wants to only move his front end, which he was gonna do there, then you be in a safe spot, but you whack his hind end. Okay, you're back over by the camera. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. That's better. So don't take it personally if they don't get it right. Figure out if you were asking right, and if you were, then you just breathe, ask again, and you just don't let them get away with doing it wrong. But don't get upset if they do it wrong. Just fix it and do it again. Good. Good boy. Good boy. So, and then again, that was moving, that's a turn on the forehand, turning the butt, making the butt move away from you. Now we're going to do a turn on the haunch. So that stays reasonably still. We're going to move the shoulder. And I'll just hopefully you can see this better here. Okay, so I'm going to move his shoulders to the right. There we go. We want that foot to cross over in front. Good. 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 Good boy. So now we're going to move the shoulders to the left. Good. So that crossed under. There he's just moving forward. Now he's just being an ass. That's a backwards foot. There we go. That's a back step. There we go. There we go. There we go. When you get it, you reward, and you can do it again, because that was not good enough in my opinion. So you can't allow too much forward motion there, because we want him to basically stay on his back end and turn around, crossing over with the front feet. So, good boy. Don't leave. That's too much forward motion. Now he's just doing his own thing. Good. 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 Come here again. Good. That's behind. That's a crossover. That's behind. That's a crossover. That's a crossover. So, and then you can do your stop and go. Don't get into a tug-of-war or a pushing war with him. If he's not moving, or if he's not moving fast enough, you whack him on the chest or the shoulder with the end of your reins. Because you can't push him. If he puts the brakes on, that's better. Very good. Very good. So there he was getting out of my space because he's figuring it out, and the respect went up an ounce. Hold, 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 hold. Good. Hold, 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 hold. So the same thing on the ground. You don't have to worry about it too much right away, but your goal is feet moving back and face giving. If his face is up here, he's going to get locked up in the shoulders, and it's just resistance. So if you were riding or on the ground, we want face and feet. Good. Now that was pretty picture perfect there. That would be fabulous if you got that when you were in the saddle. Okay. Hopefully you could see it. Oh boy, bet you not, hey?